Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Gears 12 here, and I'm back once again with another review today. Today I'm reviewing the self-titled album from Texas in July entitled Texas in July. So, I'm not going to go through the full track listing or the personnel that'll be in the description, as always. But I want to go through some songs that really, stood out to me on this album, and then I'll go through some key points, some good points, and some bad points, because you'll see. Anyways, Cry Wolf, the second track off the album, was a really good track. Really enjoyed that. Without a Head, it's got its moments for me. Bed of Nails was a good track. Repressed Memories, which I want to talk about that real quick, is an instrumental on the album. And this song stands out more than the other songs, in my opinion. Because not of the awesome technical riffs or the melodies, it's a very beautiful, melodic type piece. There's a lot of just really simplistic styles of writing that went into this song. And it's just really, smooth and really just soft, basically. It's different than any other track on the album. It does get a little heavy at the end, but there's no vocals. So basically you get to listen to about 3.5 minutes of just really good instrumental writing. Really a lot of simplistic stuff. Some really cool little guitar bits. So it was nice to see that was on the album to kind of slow things down a little bit on this album, listening to it all the way through. C4, which is the next track after Repressed Memories, is a pretty good track. Black Magic was good, and Cloudy Minds, pretty interesting ending for the album. So basically, what I really felt about this album is that there was a lot of moments where I really enjoyed what the band was doing on this album. But then there were other moments where I was just going, I've heard this style of stuff before. And one really thing that really, kind of stood out, first of all, was that they're a Christian metalcore band. So it kind of makes sense that there's not a lot of, super crazy type stuff, or they're not going all out like these other bands. Because Christian metalcore, in my opinion, or Christian metal, for that, say, is, I feel like that, they don't want to push too hard, and people make it like, oh, that's not Christian, something like that. I mean, maybe that's me. Maybe I'm the one who thinks that, well, Christian metalcore is not as hardcore as metalcore or something like that. But I mean, as standalone on this album from the band, I felt like the band accomplished something, but it didn't really raise up to what it could have been. What they did accomplish, it's a pretty good, decent metalcore album. I mean, a lot of moments it doesn't sound like a metalcore album. A lot of moments it sounds like a typical progressive technical metal. Sometimes that there's a lot of melodies on this album. There's not a lot of guitar solos, but there's a lot of melodies that kind of fit in to try to mask the fact that there's not a lot of solos on this album. There's just a lot of moments of where there's some chuggy riffs, there's some basic style of writing from a metalcore perspective, but there's a lot of just moments on this album where you're going to go, could they have added something more to that track? Or, why exactly is this song on the album? Maybe. I mean, this album is so confusing for me to really place and what I feel about it, because on one hand, let's say this hand, on the right hand, I did enjoy the things that were put on this album. I did enjoy things, not all the things. I enjoyed some of the things. But on the other hand, I'm going, what, could they have added something different? Could they have added more to that? Could that song have something else that could have made it stand out among these other tracks? Because when I was listening to the whole album and really processing what this band was trying to bring to the fans of the band and other people that don't really know about the band and wanted to see what this album is, I really felt like there was a lot of moments where I'm listening to the album, really just diving myself into it, going, this song doesn't really stand out to me. Or, that could have had something else. That didn't really have to happen. Stuff like that. But there was other moments where I literally did enjoy. I'm not just saying that just try to please people, because I felt like there was some stuff, but there wasn't a lot of stuff on this album that really stood out to make me go, this is a really good album. When I felt like this is a decent album from a band that kind of just impressed me a little, in quotations, a little. What could they have done more? I couldn't say. But what they could have done is just something more to make some of these songs that you're going to hear on this album sound more unique, or have just basically makes you remember that song more. Maybe when you hear it or something, you'll be like, oh, I remember this. Like, there's something that makes it stand out. The production quality on this album isn't really amazing. It's not bad, though. It's kind of like in the middle. It's kind of like okay to decent production quality. I mean, there were some moments on the album where it sounded pretty good. There were some moments where I'm going, okay, okay, whatever. I mean, just everything just either seemed pretty good or either seemed kind of like, it was kind of thrown together. So the production quality on this album, to sum up that, is it's in the middle. It's kind of, it goes up, down. I mean, that maybe it's just me, but when I kept hearing it, there was just moments where it was pretty good, maybe really good, to, don't know. So basically, the songwriting on this album, really the basic foundation of this album, they claim it's a metalcore album, but I really think it's more than that. I think it has metalcore, some technical, some basic heavy metal, I mean, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, there's more to this album than just metalcore. So if you are going to go into this album thinking it's a straight metalcore album, there's going to be moments where it's not metalcore, it's more of a technicalized, progressive, however you want to call it. But there's more to this album than just metalcore. But I will say this on the flip side of that, is that there's moments on this album where you're probably either going to go, okay, why was that song on the album? Or could they have done something to that? I mean, the bad part of me is going, there's songs on this album that should not have been there, because either they sound too similar, or there's not a lot going on to make you really remember that and make you go, okay, why is this on here? I mean, there's good songs, and there's songs that go, I don't understand why it's on the album. So basically, that's really how I feel about it, because it's a mixed thing, because there's some stuff that's really good, and there's some stuff that's, don't even know why it's on there, why it's on the album. Because I feel like if they put that much effort into the songs that I do enjoy, which are some of the ones I named off, maybe there's one or two more I didn't really name, but if they put that much time into writing, you know, the good songs that I enjoy, the ones that I did name off, if they put that much time into making those songs good, what happened to the other songs that I didn't mention? Those songs, like, or, you know, basically the ones that sound like they basically just did the same type of style of writing, like 3 tracks later after this track. You know, like what happened to those? What happened to the songs that are kind of repetitive, kind of like they don't stand out? What happened to those? Why can't you make those stand out more like the rest of the tracks on the album? So basically, like, how to sum it up? I mean, you're either gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. I don't think you're gonna love this album. I mean, I guess the hardcore fans are gonna love it, but for me, it's like I don't really love it. I mean, it's a decent album, but it's got moments where I don't like it. It's got moments I do like it, but it's kind of hard to place. I mean, just depends on what mood you're in. Depends on what mood you're in. If you're a Texas in July fan, or if you like, you know, if you basically like, you know, Christian metalcore or metalcore. I mean, whatever you want to call this, because it just depends on a variety of things, of whether you're going to enjoy the record, you're going to think it's an okay record, or you're going to love the record, you're going to hate the record, you're going to dislike the record, you want to burn the record. I mean, whatever you want to do, because it's hard to place. But that's just what it is. For me personally, I don't really see myself listening to the whole album again, but I will be listening to those individual tracks that I did name in the beginning of this review, because they're pretty good. The instrumental, which I totally forgot the name right now, but I named it the very first one. I really felt like if Texas in July wanted to do an instrumental album, I think that would be interesting, because they put a lot of time into making the instrumental sound really smooth and really simplistic, and a lot of melodies, and it was really calm, and it was really kind of slowed down what the album was throwing at you, and then it kind of just slowed down for a bit. I think they could pull off an instrumental album. I think it would be kind of neat. But that's my review, guys. So, to sum up one more time before this video actually does end, if you're a metalcore fan, go for it. Check it out. If you're not a metalcore fan and you're just not really interested in finding out what the band is, your call. But I think this album is for basically the hardcore fans and people that like metalcore and want to see what this album is, because I went into it thinking it was going to be something more, and I got less out of it. So, not really disappointed, but more could have been done. But some of it was good, some of it was bad, so take it as it is. So, that's the review, guys. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, like that video. And if you like me and my reviews, subscribe for more metal videos. And I'll see you guys soon.